What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 10K on the Bay, my journey to 10,000 live listings. I just got back from garage sales. I'm fresh. Let's do 5 store reviews, starting with Rob's Vintage Treasures. My goal is to provide you with 25 really good ideas to improve your store. If you want to purchase your own store review, you can in the description below, but not necessary. You're welcome to just take these tips and add them to your own store. So this is the first one, Rob's Vintage Treasures. Rob, you sell a lot of denim, and I think you need to present your denim a little bit differently and charge for shipping. The reason why I say that is because you have best offer turned on. Now, if you had best offer turned off, what I would do is leave it at the price and hope that somebody buys it. But if you're going to have best offer, I think you should charge for shipping to absorb some of that or create some type of dialogue. If you charge, for me, I charge $10 for shipping on jeans because I want them to say, can you reduce the shipping charge? And I can even, most of my items, I can even say free shipping. How about free shipping? Let's make a deal. And it's done. But if you offer free shipping, you have less negotiating power. Also, these jean photos that are newly listed, you went away from the folded out look of the jeans. And it makes it impossible for me to determine what these jeans look like. It's just a square right now. It's folded. You can either do the check mark, which I don't like as much as, for example, my jeans, I always lay out completely. I don't always do the white background because of time, but if I'm going to lay it out, it gives people an idea of exactly what the pair of jeans look like. And my jean sell-through rate is ridiculous. It's like above 1% a day. So I don't know what your jean sell-through rate is, but I think the presentation of what it looks like on people's body is the most important first picture, not the aesthetic check, because that's cute for Instagram, but doesn't make sense as a buyer for me. Your titles are great. The only thing I could add is that you want to omit the apostrophe S if you need room for the rest of it, and maybe add in an estimated MSRP. So these Lee jeans are probably $30 new. I would put Lee women or women's, or I would just get rid of the apostrophe if I needed that extra space. Size, I would abbreviate to SZ or just get rid of it, because if people type in size 14 and 14, it's still going to pull up the same thing in the search ranking. Size is already a word that's added in. Let's see, jeans, pants. That's a great title. So your titles are good. You have 1,461 listings. Let me check your sold again. You're at 482. So maybe about it's at 150-ish, 160-ish a month. That's about a 11-12% sell-through rate. That's pretty average for this category. For video games, it's going to be higher when you sell a lot of those. Also, one thing, Rob, I think you can, maybe, hopefully your name is Rob, I think you can get your negative feedback removed. When I was looking at it, it's not accurate. Your negative feedback is based on saying the game is not working, but it's not a game. So you could definitely get this removed. If you call eBay and they don't remove it the first time, they should remove it if you just call back and get a different rep. It's worth it because you've already worked so hard on getting perfect feedback so far this year. And let me see if you have any revisions. You have 9 revisions. I think you have one more revision left, right? You get 5 for every 1,000. So hopefully they'll let you remove that one, because it's kind of BS that he actually you shouldn't even have to use your feedback revision because it doesn't relate to the item. Let's see here. If you could help me by messaging me your exact goals for your store, let me know so I can help you with some strategy. But you're at 1461. I don't know if you have an anchor store yet. It starts to make sense at 3,000 listings. With your current sell-through rate, you're going to need thousands of listings to really make any money, because the sell-through rate is slower. And the dollar amount of the items is not very high. You're going to almost want to sell more like 30 to 40% of your items, which I can tell you would achieve right now if you dropped your pricing to $12 free shipping. And you could just take off best offer. This stuff would sell like crazy. But again, then you sort of need the capacity to do that type of volume. And it's going to be 2 to 3 times the volume that you're doing right now. But that might be something to consider, because a lot of times in these stores, the inventory gets really stale and it doesn't rank very well in eBay, and that's money that's just sitting in your inventory and it's not going to move. I don't recommend auctioning it, because that you won't get very much money for it. So maybe consider a lower price point if you're going to sell basics like Lee, because it's not necessarily the hottest, and I'm just wondering like why are these two jeans priced so differently. I do like the size 14, so obviously you're going for the plus size, which is fantastic. I just don't know if I would offer best offer at all. I think they'll sell at 15 and 17 if you just wait. um, an anchor store again at 3,000 items, I think you can get there. It's pretty challenging. I'm trying to get there myself, but now the sell through rate is so fast, it's hard to really keep up. And for you, I recommend, like I'm friends with Luke, Endless Entrepreneurs, and his store is kind of like yours. The price points are a little bit higher, so it takes a little bit longer, and that way you can build up your store volume higher. So if you want to check your active listings, please message me later and let me know how much money you have listed, and then how much money you want to make, and we can try to adjust your store to make that work for you. Your photos are a little bit dark, and sometimes your items are cut off. So I think that that makes a big difference. Like these jeans, I can't tell what the design is. This is maybe the least important part of the jean. If you're gonna have a close up like this, I would like it to be of the butt shot so you can see how the pockets will work. Um, yep, you have great stuff. So I would just recommend if you're gonna play in this category of volume, because not a lot of your stuff is expensive. You might want to test doing stuff a little bit cheaper. Literally 12 shipped. I think this stuff would fly like crazy because there's just so many millions of people selling the identical stuff. We need to know a little bit more about your store. This is a not safe for work picture. Um, so it can really help your goal. Also, one thing I think will really, really help you is not running sales. Now, this is a little controversial because for me, when I ran sales, it helped. But the thing is, it took a lot of time. I was spending like half an hour a day adjusting my sales, making sure that it was legit. But when I got rid of that, I was able to list more items, which definitely results in more sales. So I'm all about the streamlining. The new markdown plus sale event is great because you can schedule it for a lot longer. And if you're gonna do that, the lot longer setup, I may suggest a little bit of a higher discount, more like 40% or above, because 25% has been shown. 10 to 25% is not um, triggering an effect like 40, 60% off. I think the highest you can do is 60% off, but you have to be careful not to charge more than MSRP because that is illegal. But I've never heard of anybody on eBay being busted for that. But you do want to give the largest discount you can to make it seem like the best deal. Also, you don't have any promotions running like buy two, get something off. And I think you should do that to make your minimum cart size higher. You can leave your same pricing and do like get $5 off orders of 30, and that's going to make people buy 2 pairs of jeans in your store. Okay, let's go to the next one. Um, this is RJ Eclectic. What's going on? So I wanted to point out a couple of things that are kind of sketchy in your store, and I just want to bring it to light. So this is a pair of Prada shoes. I can tell for sure they're 100% not authentic. If you look at the stitching on the bottom right photo, first of all, don't use a picture collage for an item that needs to be authenticated. Me, as a person, with these tiny photos, I can tell that they're fake already. So if you want to give people the confidence to buy from you, you want large photos. I'll give you an example of a pair of shoes I have listed in just a second to show you how you would present an item so people can verify the authenticity. Be careful. If you don't know if it's real or not, don't list it. It's not worth it because you're charging $179, I think, for this pair of shoes. It's literally worth zero and you might get banned. So you definitely don't want to charge, you don't want to sell fake items. And in your title, you don't want to put very good condition, pre-owned, size, or free shipping. All of that is not necessary. If I was listing this pair of shoes, I would do like Prada men's. You could do fashion, but I would do Prada men's white sneakers, walking shoes, red logo, something that's more related and searched than the Prada. I would definitely spend some time looking in the solds because these shoes are extremely expensive. You only have one photo too, which really hurts you with ranking. Let's go to this next one. This is like a really poor example of a boot. I mean, this is not even a good bootleg. And I can tell you, this is the wrong font for Gucci, and also it's not centered. It's a dead giveaway. Gucci would never produce, not never, but they don't produce items where their logos are not centered because it's kind of a shoddy craftsmanship. They wouldn't produce something like this normally. unless it's like a one-off. But you can tell from here, even inside the tie tag, the Gucci is off center. It's even printed cut off. So there's no way that this is real. Also, the way that you've presented this Gucci tie is not super professional. Um, I don't think I've ever seen a Gucci where they alternate right side up and upside down like this. And also you can tell by the stitching up here that it's not high-end craftsmanship. And down here you can see the lines aren't even straight. So definitely not a real Gucci tie. So be careful. Don't sell fake goods if you can. It's going to really hurt you. So I'm going to show you an example of how to present shoes. So you have a pair of Air Jordans in here that I'm going to pull up. And I don't know if your account is too new and you can't use Nike in the title, but this is a Nike Air Jordan 23. And when I look at these photos, it's very challenging for me to buy it. It's dark. I can't see any detail on it. This is an okay picture. This is an okay picture. This tag, like, I want a straight on picture of the tag so that I can see what it's going, see what model number it is. This is actually blocking the US size, so I can't really verify it's the right size. And as a sneaker collector myself, I need to see this tag in order to accurately tell you if it's real or not. This is the thumbprint on the sole, and it's really, really fuzzy. So, and you also have the, I think the price tag, so $9.25 or something. You bought this at the thrift store, perhaps. I need to see a close-up of the wear. And yeah, this is the thumbprint. On the 23, it's Michael Jordan's actual thumbprint on the sole. In the description, you have pre-owned, good condition, minimal scuffs. I don't know about that. I think this is like maybe good to fair condition based on the photos, but again, they're not clear. I want to show you an example of a pair of pre-owned kicks that I'm selling. The first picture, if you want to really stand out, you'll blow it out a little bit and make it super pure white. Now, I have a second photo, which is just a normal, not blowing it out. This is the true color of the shoe. This is what makes it pop. So I like to put both so that people have an accurate idea of both sides of the shoe. So here we have one side of the shoe. Here we have the other side of the shoe. You can review the condition from here. This is the 3/4 shot that people like to see. A lot of people use this shot for their main photo. This is a close-up of the wear, so people can get an idea. Okay, this is pre-owned. Look at the scuffs on it. I like to use shoe trees because it makes my items look more expensive, and I also like to show the back of the shoe so people can get an idea. The tag is relatively clear, but it's straight on, and it's the majority of the picture to give people an idea of if it's authentic or not, and also a good view of it, and then the soles. And I'm going to show a detailed pic of the sole and the wear on the heel drag, because that's something that people are concerned with. I'm going to use all 12 photos if I'm trying to get premium dollar for the item. Yeah, so this is just one way of presenting it, and I'm going to show you another one. This is a pair of Gucci shoes, legit, and I'll show you like what I look for when I'm trying to authenticate Gucci. So, you know, Gucci is a very, very high-end brand, and they're known for quality. And so this is a pair of espadrilles. I want to show off the design. That's why this is the main photo. Also, I would prefer to take luxury items on not white background because I want people to see the full glory of it in the natural lighting. So this is just it on wood. I've sold quite a few pairs of these. I purchased them at a Gucci outlet. They're 100% authentic. I'm going to show close-up of all the stitching. You can see on top the quality of Gucci stitching is amazing. So it's going to be straight. It's going to be at a slight angle. They're all handmade. I'm going to give an example. I like this shoe look, especially for women's shoes, because that's what you see when you look straight down. And I think that's something that a lot of women and men want to see what the shoes actually look like. I'm going to show the bottom. I'm going to show the tag. And here you can see the Gucci. See how centered and crispy that font is? That font's totally different than the tie that you have. I'm going to show it in the box, and I'm going to show the actual box. If you have the box, people can also see the double G monogram on the box and verify the box being legit. A lot of people who make counterfeit stuff sell it without the box because the box is actually extremely difficult to replicate. These boxes can cost up to $5 a piece for the manufacturer to make them, and people who are making counterfeit shoes are not going to spend the money to make the extra box. So this is going to give people confidence. It's going to help me get the full amount of the price for it. Okay, now let's go back to your store real quick. Your store definitely has a yard sale feel, because if you go through, every single photo is different. Some are square, some are not. The lighting is always different. The background is different. They're in different areas of your home, and then they're dark. So that gives me the, just sort of like literally in your garage, all the stuff in the background is very busy. Trying to make it more neat. Like this, it would have just taken 2 more seconds to make this pair of sunglasses in the center of the photo to make it look more professional. Um, so yeah, just take the time, and attention to detail is huge. Little mistakes that you make here and there are going to make people not buy your stuff. Let's see if these Dior glasses are legit. Hmm, I don't know. I don't have enough pictures to determine for me whether or not these are real. They might be. But again, be careful when you're selling designer goods. If you have one fake item in your store, then it's not going to give people the confidence to do it. Um, yeah, hopefully that was useful. Let me know if you have any questions. You have 309 items in your store, so you have a basic store. I would recommend most people have a premium store and get 500 to 1,000 random items if you're going to go that route. If you're going to go the route of replenishables, then you definitely don't need that many. You don't even need a store really if you sell replenishables, because you probably don't need that many to make a good living. Okay. Triple J sales, what's going on? I think you should charge more for your pants shipping. Like I'm looking at your LuLaRoe leggings, and you're only charging $3 shipping. I don't know why you would do that, because it's definitely more than $3 to ship, unless these are 8 ounces. And even if it's 8 ounces, I would charge $5.99 for shipping, because that's what the standard. Most people who run auctions at scale charge about $5.99 for first class shipping, and around $7.99 for priority shipping. And that's because when people are bidding, they're not as sensitive to the shipping cost. So that might be something that can help you make a little bit more money there. Your pictures are fantastic. I like it because they're clear, they show the whole item, the background is free of any junk, so it's very, very clear. You have the entire item in the photo. That makes me super happy. Your 20% sell-through rate is pretty good. 180. You have a lot of really good expensive items in your store, which is really going to help you grow. I love these shoe photos because you can see both shoes. Lighting is clear. Guys, take some notes if you want to take photos. Also follow Tino the Soul Advisor. This is a similar look to his. Great photos. Um, and this photo is the classic photo for the profile pic. Um, but I do like the double one really well. The only thing I would say is I like to see both sides of the shoe at the same time. Um, and this is the only thing. Oh, actually, the laces are folded in. I see. Okay, no, I have no complaints. This is one of the better photos I have seen, other than maybe get a larger surface on the front so you don't see the dark spots from the background. But other than that, this might be inside a light box. Looks really good to me. Um, let's see. I think I said I wanted you to try best offer on items. I don't know if you have best offer on all of them. Oh, on LuLaRoe you don't. I might try that. I mean, your sell-through rate's already pretty good, but you can just make little tweaks like charging, let's say $5.99 for shipping, add the best offer in, or if you're gonna do no best offer, why not just include the shipping in? I'll just do $27 or $26.99 shipped, and then you can get the full discount on your top-rated plus, and also makes it easier for people to buy, and you do get a slight boost when you offer free shipping. So that's just a if you're not going to offer the best offer, go for it on making it as easy as possible for the buyer to buy. One thing I do want to suggest is having a little bit of white space around the item. I think gives it a more premium feel, and this is the example I'm giving. So on mine, you can see around these jeans that I sell, I have a little bit of space, and I think that gives it more context. It makes it pop a little bit more. On yours, it goes right to the edge, which I understand, and maybe because of the area that you're shooting it, but it gives it a more premium feel if you can get a little bit of space around it. I think that yes, your jeans to me seem a little bit out of focus, and I'm not sure why that is. So let me know what kind of camera you're using. but it just doesn't quite have a crispy feel to it as far as clearness. Let me see if it looks different. Um, yes, so it's like I can read the tag almost on my picture from afar, and on yours it's a little bit fuzzy, and it's even closer. Actually, you know what? It's not too bad. It might just be because the lighting is a little bit dark that it looks like that to me. But otherwise, I don't think that's necessarily going to make you sell less. I do like capitalized case the best, and these are all caps. Sometimes they're not. So I think that you want to make it consistent, because the theory is that all caps sometimes doesn't show up in the search ranking. I don't know if I believe that because there are so many exceptions to the rule, but again, looking for consistency in your store, making one process will increase your speed. Um, I like this shirt a lot. I like this presentation with the arms out. I've never really tried that. I always put the arms to the side to save space. But you can see on this shirt picture, you have white space all the way around it, even though you have it to the side. So that's fantastic. You have gender in the title. On your 7 for All Mankind jeans, I noticed one of them has a spelling error. And also people use the word 7fam as a shortcut for it. 7, yeah. This is where medium is spelled wrong in this listing. So I think that'll help a lot if you change that. Let's see what else. You have some things that can be omitted, like new with tags. You can just shorten to new. But honestly, you have one of the better stores for a basic store, and this is what I would recommend. If you're trying to make $10,000 a year, this might be an example of a store profit a year that you try and emulate, because it has around 250 listings. The pictures are clear, the titles are good. Now, between this and a premium store, like if you were to take this store from this to 1,000 items or 1,500 items, now you're looking more at a professional level income, $50,000 to $60,000 per year if you keep the same sell through. And these photos are fantastic. I am comfortable saying this store would scale. If you add more stuff into it, it's definitely going to grow and grow and grow, as long as you just maintain the same quality. Your biggest thing is when you grow, oftentimes the quality of your listings starts to drop. But your attention to detail is pretty high. Let's see here. Okay, one thing that the last thing that I have to say about this store is that I want to get more items that are over $100, and that's something that you need to learn, and it takes some time. But you have the bread and butter down. The $20 to $40 items that sell consistently, you're already doing that. Now you just need to pepper in the home run items, and if you can do that over the course of a year or 2 years, then the majority of your store will be expensive stuff, and then you can comfortably, in my opinion, quit your job at that point, because you have items that sell every day. You have home run items that sell every day because you have so many of them. So you have to transition from 250 listings of bread and butter to 250 listings of home runs plus bread and butter. And home runs take longer to sell, so it's a good way to build it up slowly like that. Let me know if you have any other questions, and let me know like what your timeline is for reaching your goals. Okay, let's go to the last one, or the second to last one, which is Holo Treat C. So what's going on? I love your store. To be perfectly frank with you, when I first get here, it reminds me of a yard sale, right? But then after I start looking at it, I start to realize you're actually a very talented picker, because your prices are fantastic. You have this like this $40 average sale price for the most part from the stuff that's actually sold, which means you really know how to buy stuff. Now here's the one thing that I'm concerned with your stores, is that stuff sells slow. So if you have a sell-through rate of that's relatively slow, I think you need to have more expensive items. Or you may want to sell items that are more useful, like drills or things that people would use, because most of the stuff in your store is just rare collectible stuff, and it's very challenging because you need like pretty much a massive store of this stuff to make it work, or you need expensive. So usually on eBay, when I see people making a full-time income of 1,000 profit a week or more, they have two models. It's either really expensive, right? Like Craigslist Hunter sells rare, expensive stuff. It has a ASP of $100, or it's fast, right? People are churning through a lot of stuff, and they're making money on volume. Yours is like right in the middle. You have a pretty decent average sale price, um, because the average sale price on eBay is like $20. So yours is like double that, but you don't have a high volume of them. And I think one thing that would really help you is trying to niche down, not trying to sell everything. Because each time you context switch, like for me, I can list definitely more than 10 items an hour if they're all the same. And if it's under, I mean, if they're different items, sometimes it's really like 5 items per hour. So when you add in the hourly rate for that, I would rather do volume and then slowly pepper in home runs as I get bigger. But honestly, your store, I am comfortable with giving you a refund because like your titles are great. If you look at your condition description, they're very accurate. Your descriptions are short, snappy, and you have like literally the table of contents. You're doing a fantastic job of maximizing your store. Perfect feedback. I don't know how much I can really add for you, so let me know. If you want a refund, just request a return. I'll give you your money back because you're already doing a fantastic job with such a small store of one-offs. The only thing I can recommend is just get a bigger store. Get a bigger store, or if you want to keep the same amount of items, start buying really expensive stuff. The one thing I can do for you is, since I've been reviewing so many stores, if you give me an idea of what you're looking for, I can point you in the right direction of a store that's already done it. There are no new ways of doing eBay. So you just tell me what model you want to copy, and I will point you in the right direction. And again, you're doing a great job. Your photos are consistent. There is no nonsense in the background. You've cropped out everything except for the actual item. I would like a square photo if possible, with more space around the item to make it pop more, but I mean, that's not going to necessarily make you sell a lot more. All right, let's get into Harley Manor. Great job as far as sell-through rate. You do have the highest sell-through rate I have seen in any of the stores that I have reviewed so far. So you've only been doing this for about 4 months since you moved to Atlanta. Great job. 697 feedback. Let's see how your feedback is doing. 556. So pretty much all of it within the last 6 months. So great job there. One thing I noticed when I click on the sold is you have 389 things for sale, but 526 sold, which is fantastic. That's a very, very good sell-through rate. When I look at your prices, I can see why. You have very, very aggressive pricing on all your stuff, and it's fine. The only thing I worry about is your auctions. You need to charge shipping. So like this, a lot of these items, the majority of them, you're actually losing money. So I think that that's not a good way to do it, especially like on these Lucky Brand jeans. They would have sold for 15 bucks shipped if you just wait a little bit. So I think exercise a little bit of patience in getting your store sell-through rate to actually slow down a little bit. You're selling things a little bit too fast, which means you're impatient. You don't want to sell them for free shipping. You want to always charge shipping on auctions. And if you're going to start them at a penny, it better be a very popular item. Otherwise, you're 9 times out of 10 going to lose money. So I would recommend you could make your photos square, and they could be brighter. That would help a little bit. If you light your background, it's expensive, but it makes it look insane. Or if you use, like me, just paper, but you have bright lights, it'll give you that extra pop. And that's the difference between a hobby store and professional store, is lighting. It doesn't need to be pure white, but it needs to be bright. I've seen very few stores that do well with dim lighting. Your store is okay. So now you are already able to handle high volume. You're selling 200 items a month. That's a lot. So you're into that. You're into selling almost 10 items per day. And if you're at $20 profit per item, then of course now you're at $6,000 a month pre-tax, and that is amazing. So we really need to work on helping you source and increase that average profit, and really that's going to involve adding in some home runs, because of course it's easy to say $20 items, but in order to achieve that, it's more like lots of home runs, and then lots of a few home runs, a few or more medium ones, and then the majority of the stuff in the cheaper bucket, which you already know how to do. Great photos. The whole item is in it. Again, the only problem with the photos is that they could be a little bit brighter. Let's see. I like capitalized case on titles, meaning like you can see how some of these words are capitalized and some are not. Making that consistent is going to make it seem a little bit more professional. Um, and I recommend with your sell-through rate, you really just need to keep it at 1,000 at a $50 ASP to comfortably make 50,000 per year. So email me at 10konthebay@gmail.com so I can help you start sourcing more expensive items. But the easiest way to think of it is just outerwear and shoes and electronics is going to push you over that $50 average. So you can keep selling the clothing, keep doing that to start peppering in the new niches that are over. And if you guys know, I sell a lot of medical supplies, bicycles, stuff that has over $100 ASP, and I'm doing that. I'm peppering that in. I'm also working on replenishables because if you buy 20 of an item and only make $5 profit, that's still $100 profit total when you add it all up in